as I attempted to say over and over and over in the campaign, this is a white supremacy agenda that was laid out in Project 2025. If you go back on YouTube and look at some of the clips of various members in committee asking people, such as the guy that they're trying to put over the OMB, he is somebody that I question for sure about this Project 2025 agenda, because he is one of the authors of Project 2025. I am trying to tell you that they don't care about the middle class. So number one, Democrats need to stop saying that we didn't have a middle class agenda. No, our middle class agenda has been taking care of people for a very long time. And I'm going to be clear, it's not just a middle class agenda, it is a poor folk agenda as well. So the idea that people right now are struggling, not knowing whether or not Head Start will actually be available so that they can go out and work, and then the next thing you know, we know that the Republicans are going to say you need to pick yourself up by your bootstraps, even though you can't go to work and you want to go to work. I just tweeted not too long ago about the fact that our unemployment numbers are going to go up. We are headed for a full-on recession, and that is not me trying to be an alarmist. That is me trying to get you to pay attention. So most of you are wondering, what can you do? Well, what we should have done was on November 5th, but nevertheless, this is where we are. So what do we do next? Well, number one, there's a lot of organizations that have decided they are going to engage in litigation. We also need to be supportive of our attorney generals in the good states. The good states are the ones that have this all together. Now, the poor states haven't jumped in this. And frankly, if we get court rulings that benefit the whole country, those poor states like Mississippi, like Louisiana, the ones that rely on the states that bring in the money, like California, etc., then you know what? If y'all not trying to jump in the litigation, don't worry about getting your funding. We'll keep the funding in our states, the ones that have attorney generals that are actually working for the people. So, where are we right now? We know that there's been lawsuits filed everywhere. There has been one district court judge as it relates specifically to him trying to stop these funds, okay? That judge has basically said, we're going to put a hold on this. Now, the questions are like, what will it impact? Because they got their new little press secretary. She got up there. She lying through her teeth. She's just a good MAGA because only loyalists are allowed to be involved. She did not want to answer the questions. They said if it was benefits, they go directly to the people, then the benefits will still go directly to the people. The reality is that when they put out the memo, it contradicted what she said. So who knows what all they are trying to go after. It does seem as if SNAP benefits will be on the cutting block. And again, you can go back and watch video footage of me talking about the fact that rural America uses more SNAP benefits than urban America, but urban America seems to get it right when it comes to voting. Rural America, I need you to wake up, because if for some reason you can't put food on your table, just know who you need to blame. In addition to that, there is a question about whether or not housing benefits are going to be under attack. From what I can tell, it looks like if you get a housing voucher, that it may be under attack. We also know that those that typically get rural electric assistance as it relates to being able to pay those bills, as well as LIHEAP, it looks like those are going to be under attack as well. Let me just tell y'all something. He has a track record of bankruptcy. He has a track record of just not paying his bills. Right now, what he is trying to do is run the federal government the exact same way, in a fraudulent way where we don't pay our bills. The problems that we keep seeing is that he is trying to test his power. He said that he was going to be a dictator on day one, and that's exactly what we are experiencing, because he decides that his power of the pen should overrule everything else. The reason that he is wrong, in my legal opinion, is that when it comes to appropriations, that is not something that the president does. It is something that the Congress does. The Congress has the power of the purse. What does that mean? That means that it has to go through 535 people before it makes it to the president's desk. And that is the only way that we literally take in your tax dollars from the various ways that we take in tax revenue. And then we redistribute that money in the various ways that we do. That has to go through Congress. He unilaterally believes that he can, with the stroke of a pen, say, never mind, we're going to undo that. A couple of issues with that. Number one, we have the power of the purse, not the president. Number two, that has already been signed into law. We have organizations that are relying on us. They have made contracts based on that. Slavery. That's why Trump had to go ahead and send that dog whistle about our black jobs. And I got news for him and anybody else. My black ass is exactly where I'm supposed to be, trying to check them and their white supremacy. So essentially what it is to destroy us and to destroy democracy. It also looks at consolidating power in the hands of the president.
I don't know why we still arguing about what the Constitution say. I'm still confused. So let me tell you what the Supreme Court had to say. In the decision, AARP et al. Versus Donald J. Trump, President of the United States, this is the opinion that came down May 16th, 2025 regarding the Texas situation. It specifically says on page 3, so you don't have to read too far, in paragraph number 2, it says, the Fifth Amendment entitles aliens to due process of law in the context of removal proceedings. And they were quoting Trump v. JGG, which is also a 2025 case. They go on to say procedural due process rules are meant to protect against the mistaken or unjustified deprivation of life, liberty, or property. That's why we've been talking about Abrego. And then the next sentence goes on to say, we have long held that no person shall be removed from the United States without opportunity at some time to be heard. I'd like to enter the Supreme Court decision. I don't even like this Supreme Court. I want to point that out. I would like to enter this into the record for all those that don't understand what the Constitution says. And it's been reaffirmed by, this is Trump's Supreme Court. That's why I don't like it. I'm just being honest. It's been reaffirmed by his Supreme Court. Unanimous consent, Mr. Chair.
Without objection.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I will yield back.
I am tired of the white tears. Listen, if you are competent, you are not concerned. When I walk into Congress every single day, you know why I don't feel away and why you can't make me doubt who I am is because I know that I had to work 10 times as hard as they did just to get into the seat. When you look and you compare me to Marjorie Taylor Greene or me to Lauren Boebert, there is no comparison. And that is the life that we have always lived. So the only people that are crying are the mediocre white boys that have been beaten out by people that historically have had to work so much harder. This is why they don't want us to have education. This is why they are trying to literally say we won't fund the HBCUs, because they know that if they've already gone after affirmative action and they're saying, you know what, don't allow them to come into, say, these PWIs, as we call them, don't allow them to come into these institutions. We know why they created the HBCUs in the first place. It was because they wouldn't allow us into the white institutions. And so now they're not allowing us in. And now they're saying, you know what, we're also going to defund the HBCUs. You know why? Because they don't want any more Kamala Harrises. They don't want any more Jasmine Crockett's. But I got news for them. I don't care what they do. We will fight to the end to make sure that we get our due. Because again, if you want to talk about the people that shouldn't be in this country, you probably need to look in the mirror, because the last time I checked, the Native Americans who some of ICE have been rounding up, or the Puerto Ricans who are absolutely Americans, listen, the only people that came and colonized this place are your ancestors, Trump. The fact that you just got done engaging in a conversation where we have a president of the United States who has no idea about the oath that he just took on January 20th tells me everything that I need to know. He didn't even have good sense enough in that same interview to say something as simple as, yes, I will follow the Constitution. You know, the thing that actually derived from the oath that he was supposed to take. And he supposedly took an oath, which there's a lot of people that point out that he never put his hand on the Bible, even though he acts as if he could somehow be the Pope. But nevertheless, that oath specifically says that you will defend the Constitution. So the idea that you are now taking the Constitution and, as I said, at the DNC, putting it through a paper shredder is a problem. And I think that this should not be partisan. This should be right versus wrong. A lot of the things that this administration is doing, they don't have anything to do with partisanship. This is right versus wrong. And right now, they are consistently wrong.
do know that in this moment, we need people that are unafraid and willing to go after this administration for the good of the entirety of the country. And I think that that is an opportunity that I would have sitting as the ranker on oversight. We would be able to conduct investigations. And as they are not wanting the American people to know about things such as what's going on with FAA, as you were just talking about Newark, or what's going on as it relates to our food, or what's going on as it relates to these firings and how that is impacting, say, our veterans that are trying to go and seek the treatment that they need. They don't want to be transparent and open with the American people. And I want to do that. I want to make sure that we are shining a light on all the darkness that they are bringing to our country right now.
A single illegal alien family over the course of its lifetime may cost U.S. taxpayers over $1 million. So when you give an illegal immigrant a check for, say, $1,000 or $2,000, whatever it may be, $3,000 to leave the country, you're saving taxpayers hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's also saves money relative to us having to go out and find that illegal alien and physically arrest them and deport them.
I wouldn't trust this administration for anything. First of all, they are terrible about paying their bills, number one. Number two, most of those people that have come over, regardless of what this administration said, they came over because they were fleeing things such as the fact that they don't have the opportunity to work and earn a living, or they're fleeing political violence. And so what is $1,000 if you're going back to a place where you may lose your life? They risk their lives, many of them coming over here in the first place. That's number one. Number two, I want to see some numbers. Where in the heck did you just pull this number out of your back pocket saying that they're costing us approximately $100 million? I'm sorry, not $100 million, $1 million for each undocumented person. The only numbers that we have show that we receive approximately $100 billion in tax revenue from undocumented people, so much so that they decided that they want to go to the IRS and get the IRS to help them as they go and seek these people. You know why? Because they've been working and they've been doing the jobs that now they want to roll back child labor protections and make sure that poor children are the ones that are doing those jobs, because now we're going to have those vacancies, if we're going to have jobs left at all, as we continue to endure the grind of this failed experiment around this tariff war. Listen, everyone kind of encounters a different set of circumstances. I remember when I came out of undergrad and it was a decision about whether or not to go to law school or to go to grad school at all. And one of the reasons that actually propelled me into saying, yes, I will absolutely go, is because the economy was so bad that I wouldn't be able to get a job and actually start paying those loans back. So I decided to, go get more education and hopefully come out in 3 years to a better market and have enough education to be able to actually pay these bills. Listen, we all have different sets of circumstances, whether it's life that's happening, whether you're taking care of your parents, or whether you're taking care of children. But the reality is that we consistently offer breaks to those that are paying out multi-billion-dollar bonuses, whether it's in the banking industry, whether it's in the auto industry. We continue to offer those kind of bailouts. But when it comes to the everyday working person, the person that is going to feel these failed tariffs policies the most, as they are doing a historic amount of firings in our federal government, which means that it's not just going to impact those that are being fired. It's going to impact those restaurants in those areas where those workers would normally go. It's going to impact those grocery stores where they normally shop and the places that they go and buy clothes. So listen, everyone is about to be hurt. Every expert that you talk to, they will tell you that if we are not currently in a recession, we are headed towards one. And this is when you decide that you want to go after people. Frankly, this administration continuously tells us that they love to kick people when they're already down. And I personally believe that if we can do it for the big guys, then we can do it for the little guy.